Good morning, everybody. I'm saying good morning because currently I'm in the middle of a mid-shift rotation. I get off at midnight Central, and it's lunchtime. I've just woken up preparing for my day. So to start off, I do these videos. I am not a medical professional. I am providing tips and tricks that I have learned over my time as a diabetic, simply paying it forward to other diabetics who could be new with Medtronic products or new to pumping in general. And with me just paying it forward, I do these videos for no personal gain. Just something that's going to be included for the future on my videos, just to kind of remind new people, the advice that I'm giving you are tips and tricks and suggestions to take forward with your care team and discuss things. So today is week 13, I believe. Hang on. Yes, I was correct. It's week 13. Sorry, had to check. Been busy lately. So I want to I've seen on several Facebook page, the same sort of questions kind of been asked in regards to 770Gs, 670Gs, and the 780G for people who have that device who it's been approved in their country. So I want to touch on the Accucheck meter first. Kind of some issues that I've seen people complain about and kind of how we can kind of maybe deal with those. And then I'm going to touch on auto mode and kind of my big tips and pointers for auto mode. So first, the Accucheck guide link meter. It has its pros and it has its cons versus the Contour Next link that Medtronic users are used to. The biggest con with this meter is it doesn't give you time if you don't have enough blood on your finger. So if you happen to look at your finger and you think you've got enough glucose or blood pulled out of it to do your test, and you tap it on the end of the strip and it's not, the meter immediately tells you it's not enough blood, and it doesn't give you time to add extra like the Contour Next did. I know when I had the Contour Next, I had at least about 10 seconds to try to get some more on there, and then it would analyze and tell me that was not enough blood, which was okay with me. But with this meter, I do find myself wasting test strips a little bit more. It does have a little light, the little clear thing right there on the top, that is beneficial for if you are testing at night. Maybe you're in bed and the pump's alarming, you reach over on your nightstand, you get it, you want to test. That does help, but then sometimes too, not getting tapping the test strip where the center of the glucose drop, I'm going to call it, is can also lead to you getting the alert that there's not enough blood and you wasted that test strip. The next thing that I see a lot of people complain about is the fact that the delay that the Accucheck has sending information to our pumps. Sorry, it's upside down. I got a short cannula tube. I can't hold it up in front of you guys. Upright. A solution to that Medtronic has kind of asked Accucheck to build in. So as soon as your blood glucose reading pops up on the display, if you press the back button right here, it will take, typically, if the pump is 1 to 3 feet away from the meter, it typically takes less than about 20 seconds for that data to be sent to the pump, and then that's that automatic transfer for us. If you do not press the back button, after about a minute or two, when the pump goes to sleep, it will auto send the data to the pump. But then again, we're looking at 2 to 4 minutes for that transfer to happen, and that's not ideal for us. Especially, I know me, I get sidetracked and walk off and forget to calibrate my pump, and by the time I remember, it's been about 10 minutes and the pump doesn't want that calibration, and I have to do the whole process over again. So if you didn't know about the back button, try that out and see if that makes life a little easier for you. I did just notice on my meter that the time auto updated. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. I'm not sure how that happened. I did not change the time on the meter. I did change the time on my pump. Maybe the pump told the meter what time it was. That's kind of interesting. Something just for got you guys to know. You don't have to do that if you don't want to, because it'll update automatically somehow as long as you get your pump updated. I did share on my Facebook page a screenshot from when I was traveling. I got an alert within the Minimed Connect app saying that my pump time or check pump time. That's because if I'm taking a quick 2-day trip, I don't change the time zone on my pump just because I'm worried I will forget it. So, that safety feature is built in there for us just in case the time changes and our mobile device time automatically updated and we forget to change our pump. So for those of you who are on the 770G, if you noticed that when the time changed recently, let me know. If you're a good pumper and you change your time on your pump without getting that alert, congratulations. It's good to kind of stay on top of it. I did change my pump manually before that alert came up. So next thing, auto mode. So the thing that us as pumpers need to know is auto mode is set up to work for everybody. With that being said, it can either work amazing for you from the get-go or it could be a struggle. It typically takes a couple days or weeks to get auto mode tuned in to the user. That's the big, I think, struggle with auto mode is it's a one-size-fit-all algorithm that has to be adjusted and learned for the user, and it only recycles itself every night at midnight. It kind of collects all the data for the day, analyzes it with the past, I believe 6 days to a week, and it makes a small adjustment and then goes about the next day to see if the data has improved on that. Or correct those issues. So if you are eating and after your active insulin time has worn out, or we reached 0 for about 30 minutes, I would, if you're still high, check your BG and tell the pump, hey, I'm still high, and it should give you a correction. Auto mode uses 3 pump settings to kind of work. And those are your insulin sensitivity, which is how sensitive your body is to insulin. That being said, the scale goes, the lowest number, I believe it goes down to 5 is the lowest, and then it can go up a lot. I think maybe it depends on how sensitive. If you're extremely sensitive, the higher the number is going to be, which means that 1 unit of insulin is going to drop your blood glucose, whatever that is set at. So I believe mine is set at the lower limit because I have a higher insulin resistance, which makes the insulin less sensitive to my body. So for example, I believe mine is set at 5. So when I take 1 unit of insulin, my pump, or when it gives me 1 unit of insulin, is expecting that 1 unit to drop my blood glucose by about 5 points. So that's kind of how insulin sensitivity is set up and supposed to work. Your carb ratio is similar, but it's how many grams of carbs 1 unit of insulin can cover for your body. So that being said, I also have a low carb ratio. My carb ratio is 3.5 grams. So 1 unit of insulin will do 3.5 grams of carbs for me. So example, if I eat a granola bar that's 12 grams of carbs, I'm going to take roughly 4 units of insulin for that. So it's 3.5 or 12 divided by 3.5, that's the number of units of insulin that I will take. That's kind of what the bolus wizard is doing inside our pump. It's doing that math for us. And the final setting is active insulin time, or often referred to as AIT. And that is how long the insulin works within your body. Auto mode, the minimum setting is, I believe, 2 hours, and it goes up in 15-minute increments. I'm not sure what the top is. I've never been up at the top, but I do believe it goes up to 4. It might go up to 5 hours or more. So what that means is that's how your active insulin time is calculated. So we're going to go back to my example with the granola bar. I take 4 units of insulin for that 12 grams of carbs for that granola bar. My pump is programmed for that insulin to last in my body for about 2 hours and 45 minutes. So once I finish that bolus, you'll see your active insulin time on the bottom corner of your pump. And as that slowly counts down, when it finally reaches 0, we should be about that 2 hour, 45 minute mark. That is when the pump says, okay, all that active insulin for that granola bar is now out of our system. I can ramp up auto mode to try to bring or manage glucose levels. So that's kind of how those 3 settings work. Often, if you're switching from a manual mode pump, meaning it doesn't have auto mode in it, into auto mode, one setting that's going to need to be looked at first is your carb ratio. And I say that because if you look at your pump, when you have eaten something, let me see if I have a good example. Let me try to back it up. So here's an example right here. You guys can see, let me hold it steady. Maybe it'll focus. You guys can see that right here, I had a food item. And see that there's no micro boluses in that time. The carb ratio for auto mode has to be a little bit more aggressive than in manual mode, because auto mode will stop giving micro boluses for a set amount of time. And then after it sees how your blood sugar is reacting, it will slowly start to increase its auto basal or micro boluses, whichever one you prefer, to bring your blood glucose levels back down to the target BG, which on the 770G and 670G is 120. On the 780G, the user can select either 120, 110, or 100. I don't know the conversions for those if you're not using that metric. Sorry. So with that being said, those are kind of what you have to look out for with auto mode. And the next thing is it relies heavily on an accurate carb input. So double check from a couple different sources what you're eating and try to get an accurate carb input. To do that, I sometimes will do what I think it is and analyze, okay, it's been about an hour, what's my sugar at? Oh, okay, it's still a little high, my active insulin's a little low, maybe I didn't carb count enough, let's do a little bit more. And then after that point, I won't do any more fake carbs, because I should have carb counted correctly between both of those boluses. And then the final thing I will do is, once that active insulin goes down, I will do a blood glucose check, compare that with my sensor data. Okay, my sugar is high, and force auto mode to give me a correction. So what that means is you input your BG, let's say it's 250, and then auto mode, you'll say 0 carbs, and it'll say recommended insulin. It's probably going to be super low because we don't know exactly how much auto mode is giving us in the background, without adding up all the little pink dots that have occurred in the past couple of hours. So I hope that this video kind of helps everybody. Just trying to answer some of those questions that I often see in Facebook groups, and I try to provide input when I can. If you've made it this far in the video, please like and subscribe like the video, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. I also have a Facebook page, Justin the Diabetic, if you want to like that as well. The Facebook page is the best way to direct message me if you want to chat about diabetes, or you have a particular question that you don't want the world to know on YouTube. I'm totally accepting to those messages. Please send it and I will respond as soon as possible. If you have a comment, just want to provide input on your insulin pump, or maybe a tip and a trick that's worked for you that could benefit others, comment on the video. I really enjoy seeing different viewers interact with each other, both on the videos and on posts and stuff on my Facebook page. So that's what it's here for. Like I said earlier, I'm not doing this for myself. I'm trying to take my knowledge and help others. I see a lot of frustration with people with Medtronic products, especially the ones with auto mode, and I'm just trying to provide the information that I know for them to go back and ask their pump trainer or their endocrinologist, and kind of try to get these pumps to do the best that they can for you. So with that being said, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next Friday for my weekly update on the 770G. If you're following my kind of diet and exercise routine, those videos are coming on Mondays, so be looking for that on Monday. Hope you guys have an awesome weekend, or the rest of your week, whichever time you're watching this, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.